Okay, good afternoon, everyone. A hearty welcome to each one of you for this webinar on the topic Parents and Student Voice in Planning a PYP Unit with me, Suja Doylin. I am a PYP3 facilitator at Oakheart Global School, Aurangabad. Let's move ahead. Let's dwell into the topic without much delay. This webinar is for half an hour. Here I will be demonstrating you in a very small way how I incorporate parents and student voice in planning my units in my classroom. Throughout the webinar, the chat platform is open for you all to put in your suggestions, your questions, your feedbacks, which I will be looking into. Thank you so much for joining in, and let's begin this webinar. Yes, as we all know, collaboration is a key element of PYP. We as teachers, we collaborate with each other. We collaborate with specialists to integrate and make our unit more transdisciplinary. As much as it is important for us to collaborate as teachers, it is equally important for us to consider student voice as well as parent voice in planning our unit. So how can this be done? This can be done in 3 stages. In the beginning of the unit, where you plan the unit along with your student. In the middle of the unit, where you take feedback from the students and the parents to see how you can modify your unit, and at the end of the unit. What I'm going to share with you today is something that I do at the end of the unit in order to plan my next unit better. Today, I have my student representatives and parent representatives from previous year, along with whom I will be reflecting on a unit which I'm yet to plan for this year. I have chosen this unit and this set of students because as we all know, we are virtual this year, and I would really like to consider students and parents' perspective on the effectiveness of the unit that happened last year and how that can be adopted for the unit this year on a virtual platform. With me, I have Mr. Bhushan and Saumitra. Saumitra was my student last year, and Mr. Bhushan is his father. We have them as a student and parent representative. Hello, Saumitra. Hello, sir. Welcome you to the webinar.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. With me, I have Ms. Kshama Bajaj and Rudra. Again, I request you all to keep yourself on mute, please. Yes. Rudra was my previous year student, and Ms. Kshama is his mother. Ms. Kshama and Rudra, I welcome you to this webinar.
Hello.
Hi, Rudra. And I have Ali and Mr. Rahim with me. Sir, welcome you to this webinar. Ali, welcome you to this webinar. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. Kindly keep yourself on mute. Yes. Thank you. Okay. So today what I'm going to do here in this webinar is I'm going to demonstrate how I incorporate students and parents' voice in planning my unit. I will be interviewing with them, and as they respond, I will be reflecting on my teaching practices, which I'll be sharing with you all at the end of the webinar. So we are discussing the unit, how the world works. The central idea of this unit is machines transform energy and can make our lives easier. Lines of inquiry are different kinds of simple machines. Simple machines come together to make complex machines. And the third line of inquiry is transformation of energy in complex machine. So let's start this interview without much delay. My first question is for you, Saumitra. I would like to ask you, which learning engagement challenged you the most? Saumitra?
Yeah, ma'am. So the learning engagements that challenged me the most was makerspace and flipped classroom.
Okay, so can you give me a little more insight into the learning engagement? What did you do in the activity, and why did you find it was challenging?
So in my makerspace, I made a crane. So you can see Pradeep sir, and you can see the little red machine, that is my crane. So I made it out of spare parts from Meccano, the Meccano set, and the challenge that I faced in the while making the project was that the crane had loose screws. Sometimes it used to get loosed when I used to move it to demonstrate it, and then it came out and it collapsed. But fortunately, it was the break. It was the lunch time, and I was quickly able to rebuild it because I had an emergency kit nearby.
Okay. So you are talking about the challenge that you faced. How did you overcome this challenge? Can you talk about that?
So for the crane project, I overcame it by, as I said earlier, I had an emergency kit nearby. So so to overcome this challenge, I continuously checked the legs. That is there a loose bolt? Is this disconnected? Is the rope stuck in a bolt? I used to constantly check it to make sure that the project went through the entire day and not collapsed and broke very badly.
Okay, so thank you, Soumitra. You have told me the engagement that challenged you a lot. You told why it was challenging and how you overcame that challenge. So let's move on to the next question. My next question is for you, Rudra. I would like to ask you which learning engagement challenged you the least, or which you felt was not very engaging for you. Can you tell me about that?
The activity was an activity in which we had to enact as simple machines. And it was too easy because I already had some basic knowledge about the unit, which was machines. So I could easily do that. And in the activity, there were groups of 2 to 3 people. And I had my partner, and we both had basic knowledge of machines, and we were able to do it easily. And if I were to improve that and make it better, I would have liked it, and it would have been a bit more challenging if we would have had to enact as a complex machine too, because if, as you know, complex machines are, as it is in the name, complex, and it is very complicated, which would make the challenge itself complicated for us, and it would be more challenging.
Okay, thank you so much, Rudra. I've made a note of the suggestions that you gave me. Yes, I'll be reflecting towards the end, and I'll see how I can incorporate that this year. Okay, thank you so much. Now, Ali, can you talk about the skills that you developed or demonstrated throughout the unit?
Yes, skills that I think I developed are thinking skills and research skills in the activity, treasure hunt, and makerspace, respectively.
And why do you think those activities specifically helped you develop your thinking skills and research skills?
Like in the treasure hunt, we have to think that where would the treasure be, and in that treasure hunt there was also the activity for the simple machines and all. We have to also first do that
Solve the puzzle that was given.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the next clue.
Okay.
So there we use thinking skills. And the research skills we used in the makerspace, like while making the models, we have to also research that how it works or what its purpose and all for the present exhibition.
Okay, so you feel that these are the two activities that help you develop and demonstrate the skills that you mentioned, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Ali. Yes. My next question is to Mr. Bhushan, Soumitra's father. So I would like to know if you noticed Soumitra making any real life connections or applying what he's learning in the classroom throughout the unit. Have you observed anything such, or have you made a note of anything such?
Yeah, he from this assignment, he started to go to the root cause of the problem, and he developed a problem-solving attitude, and which also has means he developed an interest in tear down of old electronic items which are not in use. So to understand its functioning and working of the gadgets.
Okay. Do you see him even today? Like it's almost been a year since he learned this concept, or since we had this unit in the classroom. Do you still see him using those concepts or those knowledge or the experience from the classroom applying somewhere or talking to you about it?
Yeah, this actually helped a lot in lockdown period also, when he used to get bored. So he tried to fix various electronic items, or open it or tear down it, so that he could know the different what we can say, principle of its working and functioning. Like that.
Okay, so you are saying that he used this knowledge majorly during the lockdown in order to
Yeah,
understand and
gained a
explain the
lot of
principle.
knowledge, different
Okay.
gadgets.
Thank you so much, sir. So this completes my first round of questioning with the students and with one of the parents. So I already have an idea about the major learning engagements that I had planned, and I'm already trying to reflect on that. I also have understood that the skills that were in focus were ensured that the activities focus on those skills and help the child develop or demonstrate at multiple times. Soumitra, my next question is for you. Can you tell me what are the learner profile attributes that you developed or demonstrated throughout this unit?
Ma'am, I demonstrated a risk taker.
Mm-hmm.
So when the first project failed, I know that it was a little bit faulty. I knew that it may fall sometimes, but I constantly fixed it and just hoped and took a risk that it will go through the judges and pass.
Okay.
And then for the second project, which is a music box, and I took a thinker. So I took 1 day of brainstorming just before building the project. And in that day alone, I made blueprints and made researches like how does a music box function? What are the gears included in it? Like this stuff I researched, and then I did a little bit testing with the motor to check if it worked, and gladly it worked.
Okay.
So here is the machine you see now.
Okay. So thank you, Soumitra. That gives me an idea that you have been reflecting on the learner profiles as well. And this also gives me an idea that the learner profiles that were in focus for these units were also a major part of the activities that were planned. It always provoked the students to demonstrate those learner profiles and develop them throughout the unit. I have this next question for Ali. Ali, you know that we had a summative assessment, which was an exhibition, right?
Yes.
Yes. So can you tell me how did that summative assessment help you apply or demonstrate what you have learned?
The summative assessment helped to apply and demonstrate creativity skills and my general knowledge by making colorful and informative poster presentation. Like while we were also making the machine, we were also making the chart. So there I used the creativity and general knowledge.
Okay, so how did you apply what you learned in the classroom during your summative assessment? Because Our summative assessment was a process, right? We started from makerspace and we ended in exhibition where many teachers came to you, many teachers gave you feedback, right? How did that process help you in applying your understanding? Did it help you in any ways?
So while we were have made the machine, we were also have made the chart about that and showing what were the simple machines or the complex machine about that. So there I used my learning mostly. I used my learning and thought what would be the simple machines which is used to make this machine, or what like that. I used the chart and I used my knowledge, so and then I made the chart.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ali. Yes, as I told you, I am also trying to reflect and consider suggestions from the parent and student representatives who are with me here to adopt this particular unit into a virtual classroom. So I would like to know what Rudra feels, and knowing that Rudra is a very tech-savvy child in my class, out of many I had, Rudra, what are your thoughts? How do you this unit can be made better?
I think that if you were to adopt this unit to a virtual platform, the easiest way to do it would be to just, if we were to do the makerspace virtually, you could just find a game which is similar to the way we did makerspace. We just bought a bunch of parts and put them together. So like to give it a feeling as if you're doing it in real life, you could just find a game or an app which is like this, like makerspace, in which the students could virtually put their own machine together, because there would be categories like tires, nuts, screws, bolts, and they could just select anything from those categories and just put it on the model virtually.
Okay. So Rudra, what do you think can make this unit better? Any suggestions from your end?
A way to make the unit better is that in the makerspace you could have made it that the students, they could get categories, like they had to make a machine which was used in daily life, a complex machine used in daily life, or a complex machine which is not used in daily life, which is like rarely used, or maybe a complex machine which you could not live without. Something like that, like different categories in the makerspace.
Okay, Rudra. I have made a note of it. Yes, I will be talking about it at the end of this web. Can you keep yourself on mute, Rudra? Thank you. Yes. Now this is Rudra's perspective on making this unit better and adopting this particular unit for the to a virtual platform. I would like to hear from Ms. Kshama, Rudra's mom. Ma'am, what do you think? How can I make this unit better for the kids or more challenging for the kids?
Yeah, hi, good morning and good afternoon to everyone. Okay, so mainly what Rudra said, I can definitely agree with him that, makerspace would be a better choice for kids because it would be interesting for them. So it is quite challenging, and then, they'll take more interest, as well as they would like to do more new things into that. Other than this, I have thought of 3 other things to make it more challenging for kids over virtual platform. First of all would be the way the kids had made the machines, simple machines or complex machine last year in the school. They can make it at home easily with the help of their parents. But while they are doing it, I would even suggest that they should take a small video, like for example, or a photo, and then make a collage of it, and then at the end of it, they make a PPT of the video, that how they did this process of making that machine. So it would be, it's a teamwork with their parents and everything. And whenever you do a teamwork, I think there is a lot of brainstorming as well as sharing of ideas. So I think kids would not only learn about the machines, but there are small little things that they would learn from their elder ones and the parents, which can they easily use in the future. And it is kind of a challenge, if they are saying, okay, I want to put this part over here, and they have an argument with the parent or the elder one that why it shouldn't be fit like that. So then, there is a kind of sharing of ideas. It would be challenging for them why they will prove their point, that why I want it like this and not like that, and how the machine would not work if it is fitted in the wrong place. Second, a suggestion that I would like to give, that is like there are so many YouTube videos on the same platform. If if teachers can suggest them some videos and maybe replicate the same machine, or replicate at their home, or just see something that what are those 5 things or 10 things that they have learned from that video, would be, because then kids would also learn that the machine that they have made is totally different from the machine that they have seen on the YouTube, and there are so many other things which are there. And why I'm suggesting YouTube videos is mainly that those are quite aligned in the work, and it is explained quite nicely, so kids would get that idea on the different platform also. Third thing that I was suggesting was, while these kids make their machines along with the help of the parents, I would suggest them to write their 5 challenges that they have gone through. For example, last year when Rudra was making his solar panel, what he realized, he was asking me why the battery has got 2 things, positive and negative, which wire to be put on the positive terminal and negative. So these are small things which he actually learned while he was making it. So because of the reason that you teachers are not going to be with the kids while they are making the machines because of a virtual platform, I think you can just help them and make it more challenging while they write what challenges, small little things that they faced while they were making the machines. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was the suggestions that you have made are they are really simple and something that I can easily implement in my classroom. Thank you so much. My last question is for Mr. Hirani. Sir, I would like to know, what was Ali talking to you during the unit? Was there any conversation between you and Ali related to the unit, and how did you fuel those conversations?
Hi. Actually, yes, this unit, I actually saw that Ali enjoyed it a lot, because he was actually very much involved and very much engaged into this machine unit altogether, the simple machine and complex machine. And I have noticed that, yes, during this unit period, he was like noticing small things about the simple machines which we have in the house also. Like he was observing the television, he was observing the refrigerator, how it works, how the wires are going, and how the energy is being converted. So the things that you have taught him, actually that's helping him a lot. And now also, after a year has passed, I guess you have taught him this about the machines, and still I have noticed that he now also notices every machine, very minute details. He notices each and every minute details of the machine and how the machine is working. And he finds out and he talks to us that, Daddy, why this machine is working this way? This energy is converting this way. So he still knows whatever things you have taught him, he still knows that, and he remembers that, all that things. So that unit was very good, very nicely taken in the class.
Thank you so much, sir. This is the end of my interview with the parent and student representative. And here I am reflecting on the overall effectiveness of the unit. Before I talk to you about my reflection or share my reflection with you, I would like to tell you how I did this interview. These questions were sent to the students beforehand, along with a short PPT of the unit overview, so that they can recall the learning engagements, they can recall what they did in the classroom and be able to reflect on the questions that is given to them. So considering the answers from students and parents, I feel that the learner profiles and the skills that were in focus were catered to well, also were assessed during a different part of the unit, because I have them on the assessment criteria and the rubric. Skipping the minor details of my reflection, walking into the major ones, Rudra's suggestion of having categories in the learner space is something that I could have done, where I could have provided an opportunity for differentiation. He also suggested regarding the movement art integration, where instead of asking them to enact like a simple machine, I could have asked them to enact like a complex machine as well, because even during the activity, I found that it was very easy for few kids to do it who already had some previous knowledge regarding the machines. So reflecting on those two suggestions, I think differentiation or differentiated instruction is something that I missed out in this unit, which I will be trying to incorporate into when I'm planning the unit. Considering Ms. Kshama's feedbacks on how to make this unit a little better on the virtual platform, I agree with the YouTube strategies, but something that really struck me is how Ms. Kshama suggested me to still give importance to the process of learning than the product of learning, because even though they are doing with the parents, they are still required to document each process through brainstorming or through making charts, to making through making small video clips of them involving in a conversation with your parents. It actually makes the learning process very authentic, is something that I'm able to reflect, and that is doable on a virtual platform. Because here in Makerspace, students sit and do it along with their peers, or sometimes they take help from home. I think having the entire family together is something that is important, and that also will help the child to explore further. And reflecting on how the students are applying their knowledge outside the classroom and outside after a year of the unit, I feel that since this unit was done as a concept-based inquiry, I am able to reflect that the concepts are very well strengthened to the students, and they are able to carry it forward and transfer it wherever it is required, apply it wherever it is required. These are the major reflections that I am able to do on spot. The suggestions given by the parents and by the students are something that is doable. It is not difficult on a virtual platform as well, because I was really wondering how to adopt it to a virtual platform, because last year this unit was completely outside the classroom. We were running up and down, we were having various activities, students were really engaged, and yes, having virtual games involving the parent community, the entire family, giving importance to the process than the product will definitely make it more interesting, is something that I feel. Moving forward, I'm definitely willing to incorporate Rudra's suggestion on how I can bring in activity, online games as Makerspace. Yes, I will have to strengthen my technical skills a bit. I'll have to do my own set of research. If required, I might have to take technical support from my ICT teacher or design teacher or the ICT team that we have here at school. But that is something that is doable, and that is definitely something that I will be doing. Coming to the other suggestions of involving parents, because I'm not sure about the kind of situation is at home right now, because parents are also working from home, students are also learning from home, and the time somehow clashes with the parents and the students' timetable. I am still not very sure how to ignite that interest or that kind of enthusiasm in parent and students both, in order to sit together, have a brainstorming, or make it more fun or engaging to them. But definitely I'm thinking on that lines, and definitely I might be implementing it as a family time activity, or as a like I might create a scenario where they do this as a activity in their family picnic, imaginary picnic, that they go out, sit in the garden or sit on their balcony and do. So that is something that I'm still processing. But yeah, these are a few things that I would love to still incorporate moving forward, along with some few things that really went well, like focusing on the learner profiles and focusing on the skills and assessing them at various stages. These are my reflections. Yes, this is a very superficial reflection because I'm doing it on spot, and as I listen to the students and parents here, but then I have made a note of all of this, and definitely I'll be using this video and the notes to reflect further before I plan, which will be put up on my social media account along this video, so that you can see the difference in my planning. I can put up both the planners of last year and the planner of this year, which I'll be planning very soon, and you can give me feedback. With that, I come to an end of my webinar. We have 6 more minutes. We have few teachers here and maybe few parents. If anybody would like to give me any suggestions or feedbacks on the webinar, or would like to talk about how you do such things in your classroom, the platform is open. You can talk about it now. Yes, in my ideal classroom, today I have 3 representatives and 3 representatives from parents and student community. But in an actual classroom, I would have similar questions as a unit end reflection, which the students will do along with their parents. And again, that will have questions for both students and parents. Or I would do it in different intervals as exit slips, where I collect such information from the students in order to improvise my unit as and when it is happening, and at the end of the unit, so that I can plan my next unit better. Anybody here who would like to share your thoughts, suggestions, or feedback? The platform is open.
Hi, Suja. This is Babita. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I just want to ask, how do students, participate or involve themselves in the unit planner? Like you must be giving them the planner in the
Yes.
beginning. Do they contribute towards the central idea, lines of inquiry? And if they do, like what kind of changes do you bring in? And at what stage do you change if you need to change?
Okay, ma'am, this is my second year in PYP and last year was my first year. So the students who spoke here and the activities that we spoke about is something that I did last year. Being a new teacher, I was not very confident about, creating a central idea along with the students at the initial stage when this unit happened. But however, at the later end, at the later stages, I was able to create central idea in a very different way, though we had a set program of inquiry that the school had designed. I really did not make much difference in the central idea or lines of inquiry, but then I used to actively involve students in the planning process. How I did that was, initially, along with my co-teacher, I started planning in front of the students, where they could see my thought process and what are the conversations that me and my co-teacher have. I think that kind of set an culture and an environment to the students to see and observe how we plan and how we used to consider what student already knows or something that is always done in a previous unit. Like Ms. Shama told about noting down their challenges. If I do that this year, definitely I will be integrating that with my next unit, which is on self-awareness, where they, analyze, where they make the note of their challenges and come up with an action plan to convert those challenges into their strengths. So I always do that. I always start from what the students know, but the actual point where I involve student in planning is in designing the activity itself. So I will have an open conversation with the students and I will say, okay, this is something that we need to learn and this is how I am planning to do it in the classroom. What do you think? Just like Rudra gave me suggestions, I had students last year who used to tell, ma'am, why not do this? Okay, maybe Rudra can do that, but I will do this activity and I will express my understanding of this particular line of inquiry through this. So that is how, majorly by keeping the activities and the assessment open to the students and co-creating the learning outcomes along with them, I used to involve them in the unit planning and I used to take similar feedback from them to improvise my plan as the unit flows. I hope I...
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Suja. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
A student would like to give a feedback.
Yes, Soumitra, please.
Ma'am, so I'm very grateful for you for teaching us this wonderful topic of machines. And if it weren't for you and your great teaching skills and Miss Zarina's encouragement, I would have not built this wonderful machine. Thank you, ma'am, for teaching us.
Thank you so much, Soumitra. I am a better teacher because of you all. I have learned a lot of things from you and I will continue to learn from you all. Thank you so much.
Ma'am,
Yes, Rudra.
I also had wanted to say a few things. One of them was that you were actually a good teacher, and to be honest, I felt as if you were in WGS since the first year when it was made.
Ma'am, I also want to say, ma'am,
Yes, sir.
I was feeling very interesting, and I like in the unit machines. It was very interesting unit, and thank you for teaching us.
Thank you so much, Ali. Thank you. So sweet of you all.
Ma'am,
Your feedbacks and your suggestions are a way I learn, and I will definitely learn better from you all. So with this, we come to an end of our webinar, and we are also running short of time. Anybody, if you have any feedback, any suggestions that I can incorporate in my classroom in order to, adopt my units for the virtual platform, you are free to write me on my Gmail. That is sujadoylin, SUJADOYLINE @gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.